Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nikki the Creator, where we talk about everything mindset, self-love, self-care, and leveling up your self-concept. Today is just going to be a little bit of a pep talk, but before we jump into it, I just want to let you know coaching is officially closed just because of changing my schedule. But if anything, I drop my episodes of my podcast in my VIP group. I also, answer one-on-one questions if you have questions in there, and I do tend to go live in there. And I go live on my regular page as well if you want to join the VIP group. I still have my manifestation guide, and I still have my custom affirmations if that's something that you want. Now let's get into the pep talk. So something that I've realized that, in the mindset community, because not just manifestation, just in the mindset community, it's just this questioning of how it works. And I kind of want to just put this out there. Manifestation is not magic. It is literally mindset work. It's literally shifting the way that you perceive yourself, shifting the way that you think. And it's then going to change your behaviors, but it's also going to bring forth new experiences for you. And you're going to respond differently in those experiences. Okay? Manifestation, the word actually means like the materialization of a thought or a theory. It is not magic. It's just mindset work. If there's anybody telling you to do anything extra, like put stuff under your pillow, do this, do that, that is spiritual work that they are doing. But manifestation is literally just the materialization of a thought or a theory. That's it, right? And so when you come to that understanding, you're going to understand that all you have to do is change the things that you are telling yourself, change the things that you are thinking on a daily. And by doing that, you have to be aware. When you are aware, you have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined. That is the part that I think, and I'm not going to project this onto people, but I find that people struggle with that part. They want to feel motivated all the time. That's why they overconsume knowledge and don't apply it. That's why they're constantly scrolling, looking for the next answer. You don't need motivation. You need discipline. What is the difference between discipline and motivation? Motivation is that rush that you feel like, I'm excited about this. I can do this. And you have all this energy. It's like if you drink a pre-workout or you drink caffeine, you feel like you can take on the day. That's the motivation feeling. Like, I can do this. I got this. You're in a good mood. And you got this. Discipline is different from motivation, because discipline is you're not always going to be in a good mood, but you got to get that shit done. It's just like with work. Are you happy going to work every day? No, but you have to go because you know that money pays the bills. You know that money pays for this or does this or whatever the case may be. But you know that in order to keep the job, you got to show up to work. That is discipline with your awareness and your mind. You're not going to feel chipper and happy every day, but you know that you have to be disciplined in being aware of what you're telling yourself. So you may say like, I'm tired today, but still I have to make sure that my thoughts are on the fact that I'm powerful. I'm a creator. I always get what I want. You have to be on top of it. It is discipline. So if you want to know, like even when people ask me, how do I get my stuff quick? How do I get discipline? Discipline. And nobody can give you discipline besides you. And that goes to my next point. Manifestation is a decision that you make. I can give you all the tips in the world. I can stand by your side. I can sing to you. I can do whatever. But if you don't decide for yourself that you're going to make this change, if you don't decide for yourself that you're going to get what it is that you want, you're going to always be battling between, I don't have it. Where is it? And, oh, I'm not seeing changes. You have to decide for yourself. And decision making is not trying. You're not trying. You're deciding. You have to decide. And if you're scared, right? And if you're an overthinker, I understand. But you just have to do it. Else, here's another perspective. If you don't do it, who will? Who's going to do it for you? Like I said, it comes down to a choice. You want to change your life. You want to level up your self-concept. You want to have the SP. You want to have the job. And you absolutely can. You can have anything that you want. But you have to flip that switch in your mind and say, and stand firm and say, I am getting what I want no matter what. I can cry today. I don't care. I can eat ice cream even though I said I was going to go to the gym today. I don't care. But tomorrow I'm going to get up and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep repeating my affirmations. I'm going to keep doing my visualizations. I'm going to keep being aware of my thoughts and being on my mental diet, because I know that things work out for me. It's that firmness and that conviction. It's not about being in a good mood. It's about the discipline. You keep the discipline and you're going to just wake up one day and you have everything. You're just going to feel like the person that has it. What's happening for some of you is, before you can even put things into action, you're doing all of this. I need the next answer. She did this. Let me try this. Just pick what works for you, whether it's visualization, repeating your affirmations, mentally or out loud, scripting, whatever works for you. Decide that it works and get to it. Just do it. This is what put fire under my heels when I was just over consuming manifestation, topics, videos. I noticed that months was passing by and I still had no changes in my life. I was taking breaks from Instagram and I was doing nothing but watching videos of manifestation. But those months away from Instagram, nothing had changed in my life. And I'm like, how is it that these people who are doing this 6 month, like, oh, take a break from social media and focus and change your life in 6 months. I'm like, how are they getting these changes? Because they focused and they disciplined their mind and told themselves they can do it and continue to create the habits mentally, which led to actions for them. I'm not saying you have to take action. I'm just saying, your mindset will shift into the way that you respond, right? When I finally decided to actually just do, I just said, you know what? Let me just set timers. I started to set timers. I said my affirmations. I like mirror work. I would talk into the mirror. I started to see major shifts in my life within a week because I became a doer instead of just listening and consuming the knowledge. I stopped scrolling as much. I stopped looking for answers because I became the answer. You just have to do it. Which goes to my next point of this pep talk. You will know that you have impressed your subconscious mind or have made some change or mindset shift when you realize that you are responding differently to situations that you may see come up again, or even new situations. So here's an example. I'm going to use manifesting a partner, or SP, as an example. Let's say you were in the mindset of being insecure, or being in the mindset of being jealous, envious, or just not thinking you are good enough. When you have certain beliefs like that, it's probably because of things that's happened to you before, something that you experienced with parents, whatever the case may be. No judgment, just maybe that's just a belief you hold. So when you get into a partnership or even friendships, you respond in a certain way just subconsciously because you can't help it. So you naturally respond as a person who doesn't feel they're good enough, or you naturally respond as someone who's insecure, and it just happens. And so the person has no choice but to respond to you the way you responded in your insecure state. And then afterwards, you may go home like, I didn't mean to act like that. I didn't want to act like that. I don't want to be like that. I want to be somebody that's confident. Right. That is the experience that you're having, and that's how you're responding over and over and over again. You may leave that relationship and go into the next relationship and still do the same thing over and over again. This is why Neville Goddard said there's nothing to change but self. How do you change that experience? You change how you're showing up. How do you change how you're showing up? Through repetition of a new thought. So who do you want to be? You want to be confident? I'm confident in myself. I trust myself. I know exactly what to say in every situation. I'm secure. I'm stable. I'm good enough. I'm the only woman that he wants. I'm the only guy that she wants. Repetition of that thought. And so what's going to happen is, if you decide to be with that same person, they're going to show up in a way that the same way, and you're going to respond from the new you. And when you respond from the new you, they're going to change their response. And that's how you change the dynamic. Because you changed who you were, so you respond differently. So they have to respond differently. You guys are understanding? So you have to change the way that you are thinking so that you can show up into your world differently, so that you can get different responses. That's my final part of my pep talk. I feel like that was actually the most important part of this pep talk, because a lot of you try to change how they respond and you have not changed. You have to change the way that you are thinking. This is all a mindset thing. You don't have to overthink the actions. You don't have to overthink, should you do this, should you do that? Naturally, as you change from being insecure to secure, you're going to stop doing the things that you're doing. For example, what would somebody that's insecure do? Maybe check socials, maybe check who he's following, who she's following, maybe check the phone, maybe call a million times to see what they're doing. If they don't hear from them, then they panic. But what would a changed action from an insecure person to a secure person do? A secure person won't check anymore, won't feel the need to check, won't feel the itch to check, won't want to figure out why I'm not getting text message, might be secure and stable in what they're doing, knowing that the text message is going to come in. It all boils down to deciding to be that person, guys. So yes, there's repetition of affirmations. Yes, there is persisting. But you have to decide to be that person. You can't decide that you're going to be this person on Monday and change your mind on Tuesday and go back into your old habits. You have to discipline yourself. Remember, in the beginning of the video, I talked about the difference between discipline and motivation. Some of you are looking for constant motivation, hence the overconsumption of videos. Cut that down and be disciplined. Just tell yourself, I got this. I trust myself. I know I can create the life of my dreams. Normalize it. It's normal for me to materialize my ideal life. It's normal for me to live my dream life. You repeat that often enough, you're going to follow through with the responses and the actions of that, and you're going to change your experience. It's very simple. It's not magic. It's mindset work, but it takes you putting in the effort mentally, your focus. And that's another thing. I don't mean to sound like an old person, but the scrolling and the mini videos cut your focus, teach you not to be able to focus. If you find that you can't focus on a video for a long period of time, work on your focus. Your focus is what's going to get you what you want. I know that there's other manifestation coaches that talk about setting timers. Set 10-minute timers to get yourself to build up to longer periods of time. That focus, that dedication that you take to putting into the repetition of those thoughts is going to have your life change quickly too. I'm telling you, once I really started becoming a doer and just started doing it, just started applying it, just stopped accepting too much knowledge, just started repeating. I just knew that repetition worked. I put the work in. My life started to shift. I didn't get like all of my manifestations in like 1 week, but I saw major shifts that I've been looking for months after a week. You have to put the work in. Nobody else can do it for you. I mean, you can get somebody to manifest for you, but you have to do the work. You can't be around the bush with that. So what are the points we talked about? Be a doer. Just do it. There's power in your decision. And the repetition of your thoughts is going to change who you are, and it's going to change how people show up in your life because you're responding differently. So basically, you change your assumption of your SP, he will show up differently because you're responding differently. Even if you're in no contact, I already saw the questions coming. Even if you're in no contact, same thing. You change who you are, people have to show up differently. That's it. That's how simple it is. Not magic. It's mindset work. I'm Nikki the Creator. You can have anything that you want. You are limitless. You are infinite. You are powerful.